The roots of Burning Man began on June 22, 1986, when Larry Harvey and his friend Jerry James built an 8-foot-tall wooden effigy of a man and set it on fire. They did this on Baker Beach in San Francisco. This was a spontaneous gathering and attracted about 20 people, all people that Harvey and James knew personally. And Harvey later described the act as a, quote, spontaneous expression of radical self-expression and a reaction to a breakup.
So I absorbed all of that passion out of my passion, and ended up designing a giant godlike man that was made by carpenters.
That next year, the boys decided to do it again and set that wooden man on fire in the same place at the same time. This time, they made the man a little bit bigger. And from 1987 to 1990, they did this ritual every single year. Each year, the Burning Man got bigger and bigger. And each year, more and more people started attending this event. And then it began to attract attention beyond Harvey and James' immediate circle. The last event that they held at Baker Beach was in 1990, and it attracted police attention, leading to a halt before the man was fully burned. Harvey and James decided to find a new location and decided on the Black Rock Desert in Nevada. This was a vast, open, and very remote location and provided the space and freedom they needed. In 1991, the first official Burning Man in the Black Rock Desert took place. Harvey decided not only would he move this event to a remote area, but he would also incorporate an LLC for all of the profits he was making from this to manage the event. He called the LLC Black Rock City LLC. The event began to take on a more structured form, and with a growing number of participants, you started getting a lot of art installations and camping going on, and the beginnings of the theme camps that are now the hallmark of the event started in 1991. There was definitely a major organizational shift that occurred when the event became more organized in the early 1990s. You started seeing more clear rules and regulations, all put in place to help ensure the safety and sustainability of the event. The concept of Black Rock City became more defined, with a planned layout for the temporary city that emerges in the desert each year. They started calling the whole area Black Rock City. Black Rock City, which would just kind of pop up every year with this event. By the 2000s, Burning Man continued to grow in popularity, drawing participants from all around the world. The event became a canvas for large-scale art and a place where people could freely express themselves. The principle of gifting became a central part of this Black Rock City culture, where no money is exchanged during the event at all, and participants are encouraged to give without expecting anything in return. In the 2010s, the festival began to see increasing numbers of attendees. The population of Black Rock City often reached over 70,000 people per year in the 2000s. The Burning Man organization also started to expand its influence globally, supporting regional events and art projects inspired by the festival's principles. From the 2010s until the present, the festival has faced many challenges, such as increasing commercialization, logistical issues due to its growing size and their environmental concerns. But despite this, Burning Man has remained a vibrant and influential event, with many participants viewing it as a transformative experience. While the Burning Man Festival is known for its celebration of creativity and community, it has also experienced several tragedies over the years. Here are some notable incidents that have occurred. According to the September 4th, 1996 issue of the Los Angeles Times, Burning Man saw its first fatality when San Francisco neon artist Michael Fury, age 37, motorcycled into camp with his headlamp dark after a night of drinking. Authorities said he slammed head-on into a van in the omnipresent haze of playa dust. Separately, it sounds like 3 other people were seriously injured early Monday, one critically when a car drove over their tents. The reaction by the sheriff, Ron Skinner, was, quote, "I think there's a general consensus that the Burning Man Festival has outgrown itself." And the sheriff of Pershing County was vowing to stop Burning Man 1997 from taking place, at least without some radical changes. He said, quote, "My whole entire staff is just totally burned out from the last 5 days. We're a small department that serves 4,700 to 5,000 people, and we're just not equipped to handle 10,000 partygoers. The rebellion and indulgence is really replacing the art aspect of the whole event. The more the media hypes the Burning Man, the more static he draws. Some Christians call him pagan. Some women call him sexist. Some African Americans say he reeks of Klan cross burnings." Jeff Holmes, a Boulder Creek, California internet specialist, sees an energetic cross-pollination of neo-technologists, performance artists, mechanics, and free thinkers, and the potential for the whole exuberant, inebriated mess to reach critical mass and meltdown. Quote, "It's balanced on a knife edge," he says, "but you know what? It's going to go on regardless." The second incident was in 2007 when there was an aircraft collision. An ultralight aircraft crashed during the event, resulting in the death of the pilot Richard Swanson and his passenger Amy Sutherland. The aircraft crashed into the Black Rock Desert during a demonstration. The incident underscored the dangers of experimental aircrafts and prompted organizers to revisit safety protocols for aerial demonstrations and activities. Now, the third incident was in 2014, and this was the death of Alicia Louise Picchio, I think that's how you say it, but I'll just call her Alicia Louise. Alicia Louise was a 29-year-old woman from Wyoming. She died after being struck again, just like the previous year, a moving art car. Now, the accident happened at night, and Alicia was walking when she was hit by the vehicle, but this tragedy led to further tightening of the vehicle operation rules, including stricter guidelines for art cars and enhanced efforts to prevent pedestrian vehicle collisions, whatever that meant. But the Burning Man Festival's bad juju doesn't stop there. In 2007, a man attempted by running into the flames of the Burning Man structure. He was rescued by participants and emergency personnel. He survived, but he was severely injured, and the incident raised awareness about mental health. Also, in this same year, someone was found hanging in their tent and obviously was found deceased. This incident really prompted the Burning Man organization to emphasize mental health resources and offer support for those suffering from mental health issues during the event, including availability of psychological services in Black Rock City anytime you need them. But apparently that didn't work very well, because exactly 10 years later, a 41-year-old man named Aaron Joel had a successful attempt. He ran into the flames of the Burning Man just like the other man in 2007. However, in Aaron's case, despite efforts to rescue him, he succumbed to his injuries. This tragedy led to, again, increased scrutiny of the festival's safety measures, especially concerning crowd control and the management of participants near the burning structure. It also sparked discussions about mental health again. However, in 2017, people started looking at the psychological toll the event was having on people's mental health, rather than in 2007, where they were really just trying to offer psychological services to people already suffering with mental health. Now, in 2017, people are looking at the actual event, thinking the actual event is causing mental health issues in the participants. And the bad juju just doesn't leave. In 2019, 33-year-old Shane Billingham died on a Thursday night at the Burning Man Festival, and police ruled that death as suspicious. In that same year, there was also another plane crash where at least one person was seriously injured after their plane left the Black Rock Desert, leaving the Burning Man Festival. in 2023, heavy rain and mud from an unexpected storm turned the entire desert into a very thick mud. The rain caused severe logistical problems, stranding thousands of participants in place for several days. And although there were no direct fatalities reported in 2023 from these conditions, the conditions still created a really dangerous situation for those without adequate supplies or shelter, which was most people. The event's organizers had to reassess their preparedness for extreme weather conditions, and the incident highlighted the importance of being, quote, well prepared for unpredictable environments. Over the years, though, all of these miscellaneous injuries and deaths really raised the question, should Burning Man Festival be allowed to continue? The remote location and harsh environment of the Black Rock Desert poses inherent risks, and participants are reminded each year to be self-reliant and take precautions, but it seems as though the event could be taking a really negative toll on people's lives and psyche. Of course, in response to all of these tragedies, Burning Man has continually revised and enhanced its safety protocols. These include increased medical and psychological support services, like I mentioned before, stricter vehicle operation guidelines, enhanced crowd control, and improved communication about the potential dangers of the environment. And while these tragedies are sobering, they are part of the complex history of an event that challenges conventional norms and attracts a diverse range of participants. The Burning Man organization strives to learn from each incident, they say, and strives to improve the safety and well-being of the Black Rock City community. But many have raised the red flag that the whole concept of Burning Man is a pagan practice. People have questioned if perhaps the fact that people are participating in an activity that has strong roots in paganism, whether that is or is not contributing to the constant bad juju that surrounds this event. Now, while the Burning Man Festival is not explicitly pagan, it does have elements that resonate with pagan traditions, particularly in its symbolism, rituals, and communal practices. Here's a look at just some of the connections. Number 1. Fire as the primary symbol. Fire has long been a central element in many pagan rituals. It is often seen as a symbol of purification, transformation, and the presence of the divine. Festivals like Beltane, a Celtic celebration, traditionally involved bonfires to mark the transition from spring to summer. And burning a man, whether it's a straw man built out of straw or a man built out of wood, just some sort of figure that resembles a man, the act of burning that in the bonfire was always seen as a symbolic ritual and is consistent in all ancient pagan traditions. The burning of the man symbolizes in pagan tradition a release, a transformation, a rebirth. It symbolizes change and renewal. Number 2, seasonal celebrations. Many pagan festivals are tied to the cycles of nature, such as the solstices and equinox. These celebrations often involve communal gatherings, feastings, and rituals that honor the changing of the seasons. Although Burning Man does not align with any specific solstice or equinox, it is intentionally held late in the summer. And it's really just the way Burning Man's festival focuses on community and creativity, and there's no exchange of money, and the cycles of creation and destruction. Many of the participants there are focused around the moon and the equinox and all of that, all of those pagan beliefs and pagan themes. All of that together echoes the theme of all of these historical pagan celebrations that again centered around a bonfire and burning some sort of a figure of a man. Festivals and rituals in paganism are participatory, with everyone contributing to the communal experience. At Burning Man, one of the core principles of Burning Man is radical participation, where everyone is encouraged to contribute to the event in some way. This mirrors the participatory nature of pagan rituals, where the boundaries between participant and observer are often blurred. But the other main pillar of paganism at the Burning Man Festival, other than burning the man, is their reverence for nature.
It's so audacious. I mean, it's so. It's but with an infinite horizon. With nothing but an horizon in it. Anything anything that stands above you is perforce exalted. Is extremely impressive. So if you put the man on top of a temple that's 2 foot taller than the average person, it impresses them. If you put the man in town against some tenement building, if we erected him up against the AT&T office building or whatever in town, he'd look measly and negligible. But if you put it out there and make it the tallest thing in the environment, then of course it's perceived in much the same way that people perceive any temple.
Paganism is often very closely tied to nature, with a deep respect for the earth and its cycles. And of course, Burning Man has made headlines yet again in 2024 with another death of a woman. Now, while Burning Man, like I said, has not come forward and explicitly said that they are a pagan ritual, it does draw on many elements that are present in various pagan traditions. The use of fire as a transformative element, the communal and participatory nature of the event, and the ritualistic burning of effigies all resonate with themes found in paganism. And this makes it a modern event that, while secular in its organization, echoes ancient practices and beliefs. Many people believe these pagan elements are creating really bad energy and juju around the event. Many people are concerned that the event is causing psychological deterioration in the participants. And despite Burning Man's efforts to grow their psychological services in Black Rock City, there still seems to be a lot of issues going on. So I'm very curious what your thoughts are. Do you think that Burning Man Festival is just a regular festival that has had its ebbs and flows and has had certain tragic events just because of its location and just because of its nature as a festival? Or do you think there's something far darker going on at Burning Man? Do you think that the whole concept of burning a man, as they did in pagan rituals, is creating a really negative environment in this desert? And if you've ever been to Burning Man, let us know what your experience was like in the comments down below. And if you like this type of content, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you on the next Roots Rockumentary.
Hungry for the road all my life, thirsty for adventure all my youth, chasing all my